Today is Tuesday, September 17th, 2019. My name is Edna Sussman. I'm a reference librarian here at the Half Hollow Hills Community Library. We're interviewing James Coschignano, a Vietnam Air Force veteran, as part of our Veterans Testimonial Project and in collaboration with the Library of Congress's Veterans History Project. Thank you so much, Jim, for your service and for being willing to participate in our project today.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Jim, where and when were you born?
I was born August 12th, 1949, in Huntington Hospital.
Okay. And who are your parents, their names, and what did they do?
My mother's Rose Coschignano. She was a housewife, worked part-time next door at a neighbor's house for an accountant. And my father was James Coschignano Sr., and he worked for Alessio Pipe and Construction Company.
Mm-hmm. And did you have any siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
Oh, an only child.
Yeah.
So what were you doing before you entered the service?
Well, I just graduated from high school in 1967. I went off to the University of Tampa where I developed hepatitis. So I had to come back. And then I was just hanging around, doing a lot of different stuff. I decided to go to Suffolk Community for a while. And then I had a very low number in my draft notice. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to get drafted. So that's when I enlisted in the Air Force in 1968.
Okay, so if you had waited to be drafted, likelihood is high that you would be drafted into the Army?
Yes.
So you want to pick?
I had my pick, and I picked the Air Force. I scored high in the tests.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Why did you pick the Air Force?
I didn't want to live out of a tent, mm-hmm. And I looked at the Air Force, and it looked interesting. And
you had never had a big desire to fly or anything?
No, not really. Not really.
Interesting, yeah. So what happened when you departed? When was that, when you enlisted?
It was June 5th of 1968.
68.
Yes.
So what happened when you departed for training camp in your early days of training?
I departed early. I went out to I got to remember now. Amarillo, Texas was my training facility, and I was out there for 4 months in Amarillo.
Oh, 4 months. That's longer than the Army,
yeah.
I think.
It was 4 months training.
Did they teach you, what did you learn there?
I just did my basic training and then got my assignment after my aptitude test, and I scored in air traffic control.
Oh, wow.
So I was an air operations specialist, mm-hmm. and they sent me to Washington. My first base was Andrews Air Force Base, Washington, D.C., mm-hmm. where I stayed there for a year. And my next base was Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii, where I spent 3 years.
Nice. So back to the basic training, what was that, how was it adjusting to military life? The living, the food, the barracks, all that?
Well, it was a little bit different after being an only child at home, but it was a great experience.
Really?
It made me grow up. It was the best 4 years of my life.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
It just gave me a chance to be on my own and learn a lot.
Did they teach you in basic, I guess, what everyone needs to know about military procedures and
yeah, it was just that, and
all that?
We had rifle M16 training and marching every day, and that was pretty much it. After the 4 months, and I went to my base station of Andrews.
So, was there specialized training involved for the air traffic control?
No, I had to take. It was a book. It was a study book that I took when I got to Andrews, and I just went through the procedures of taking it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were stationed at Andrews for the military flights coming in and out?
Yes, I was in the 1st Air Transport Squadron, which was under the 89th Military Airlift Wing, which had the president. Mm. And we did all the other flying of dignitaries and stuff like that, and I was in crew scheduling.
Okay, got it. So after a year there, why did they send you to Hawaii?
I had a friend who was stationed with me, said I can get you to Hickam Air Force Base if you want to go. I said yeah. So I did it.
Did you live on the base in Washington?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yes.
What was that like?
It was nice. It was very nice. And while I was there, I played on the base softball team.
Oh, nice.
Got to travel with them for a while. I was in Richard Nixon's inauguration.
Really? What was your role there?
It was a cordon roll down the street. There was an all military, and we were part of that where the president passed by. It was quite interesting.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, in between, were you communicating with home? I mean, did you
Yeah,
go
I
home?
used to come home just about every weekend because it was only a 4-hour drive, 5-hour drive.
Nice. To
So
New
I-
York? Your folks were in New York?
Yeah, my folks were in New York.
And then when you went to Hawaii, there was 3 years, you said?
Yes.
So what kind of duties did you have there?
Again, I was in the Military Airlift Command, and I was an air operations specialist. We did the scheduling of crews that transited through Hickam. Everybody came through Hickam on the way to Asia or back from
Oh,
Asia.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
a lot of scheduling.
Yes. Yes.
Did you also monitor the planes and things like that? Is that what?
No, it was more an operations specialist, just scheduling crews, make sure they had enough crew rest. Sometimes going on the ramp and checking planes and maybe picking up some crews and stuff.
Oh,
And
you
they
checked
would
the
secure
planes, too?
they would secure their weapons in the command post and
You had to check everything.
yeah, kind of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And there in Hawaii, you lived on the base too?
I lived on the base, and then I finally moved off base and had an apartment downtown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Why
three
did
of us
you-
had three of us had an apartment downtown. So
They don't make you live on the base?
no, we can live off the base if they approved it, and they did.
Why did you want to do that?
It was just something different. It was good to do and
Yeah.
interesting.
It's a good experience. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Have your own apartment.
Yeah. Plus, everybody that transitioned through was stopped over and saw. I had friends that transitioned through in the Army, in the Air Force, and also relatives that would come
Oh,
over
they
and
could
stay.
visit.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah,
They could stay with you.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
What kind of friendships and camaraderie did you form while you were in the service?
Oh, I had a lot of friends, a lot of camaraderie, especially playing softball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we did a lot of traveling. Went out to Denver, went out to Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, played down in some of the Navy bases along the East Coast.
Did you travel abroad at all?
No, we didn't travel abroad.
Were you given that option? But military wouldn't have paid, probably.
No, we did. We never had that option. Really, it was just mostly statewide and just doing other things.
There's a lot to
other
see in this
bases.
country.
Yeah, it was.
So you weren't on the front lines, but do you have friends that were sent over to Vietnam at that
Yeah,
time?
yeah. I had a lot of friends. A close friend was, I don't know if you know, Ray Enners. He went to Half Hollow. He was a lacrosse player. He was a
Okay.
lieutenant in the Army. He was killed in Vietnam.
Oh, wow. You knew him from growing up here?
Yeah, him and his brother, we were good friends. Good friends.
Wow. And you stayed, while you were in Hawaii, you stayed in touch with family and friends?
Yes. Yes, I sure did.
What did you do for recreation when you were off duty? It was like an 8-hour day, or what was your day
Yeah,
like?
pretty much 8-hour day, but shift work. Sometimes you had to work midnights. Sometimes you had to work 4 to 12. Sometimes you had to work days. So it was rotating shifts.
So sometimes you had to work from midnight till the morning?
Yes, yeah.
How do you do that with your sleep?
You know what? You just get used to it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty good because then we would go to morning chow and just have breakfast and go to sleep.
Go to sleep?
Yeah.
How many days in a row do you do a shift like that?
It was usually 5 days. It was 5 days on, 2 days off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just a regular work week.
As your body used to get used to that sleep cycle.
It does. Yeah.
But it worked.
It worked. It worked.
What can you tell me about your 3 years in Hawaii? What was it like?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was. I didn't want to leave. Matter of fact, I got discharged from Hawaii and I stayed.
Oh, you did?
And I was going to stay.
In the service?
Yeah. No, I got discharged from service, but I was going to stay. I was staying in
to
Hawaii.
live.
I got out, yeah. And I was there for about 3 months. And
What island were you on?
Oahu.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's the biggest?
Right. Downtown. Yeah. Honolulu.
Were you working in those 3 months when you stayed there?
No, I was just bouncing around doing
Yeah.
stuff.
But when you were in the service, I mean, what else did you do besides scheduling? And
In our free time, we would go snorkeling, do other things, just relax. Got to tour the bases, the other base, the naval base. With,
Okay. Oh, so how close were you?
I was right next door to.
Oh, yeah, Naval and Air Force were close to each
Yes,
other?
yes.
Was there an Army base nearby, too?
Yes, it was up in the mountains, but close. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So did you guys visit each other and learn other things about each service?
But pretty much we knew some of the people and went to the different facilities, went to different clubs, the NCO club, non-commissioned officer club.
Okay, for recreation.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Right.
That's nice.
Right.
What else were your duties like?
My duties were pretty, it was pretty easy. I had a very good, had good bosses. In my job with the operations, you didn't have to pull any details. So you never got pulled off to do kitchen duty or stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Because,
How come?
Yeah, it was just that when you were in the air operations, you never.
That was it,
That
the
was
whole
it.
time.
Your whole time
So
you
you
were
really
devoted
learned it
to that.
well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's pretty detailed work.
Right.
How many people did that kind of work with you?
There was probably about 25 of us in the command post.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And rotating through a 24-hour shift.
Huh.
Yeah.
How big was the base?
Hickam Air Force Base was very big.
Big.
Very big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you returned home, you decided after 3 months to return home.
I came home, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I came home and I was doing a lot of different other things. I was working like 3 jobs. I was working on a sod farm, doing that. I was bartending. And then it was funny because I went to my old bar, Herman's Lounge, and my wife now was there, and we were, we knew each other from junior high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we met up, and then 2 years later we got married.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But you weren't friendly through high school as much.
No, no.
This was after the service.
Yeah, after the service, yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So what did you start doing down the road then, once you got married? What did you do after the service?
I got it, well, before I got married, my wife said I had to get a job. So my uncle worked for Grumman Aerospace, and he got me a job over at Grumman.
Was your background in the service maybe helpful for that?
Well, I just got into Grumman to get into the job, and then I did get into air traffic control at Grumman. I worked at Grumman Bethpage, and I worked at Calverton as an air
Nice.
traffic controller.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Wow. Now, is
so-
there special training that they require, like
Yeah, it was
schooling?
on the job. It was on the job
Oh, on the
training
job.
and requalification, and I was a weather observer, and
No, how long was the training for that?
it was probably close to a year.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
it? Wow.
Yeah, and I got certified by the FAA as,
Oh,
as
nice.
a control tower operator.
So technically, air traffic controllers don't go to college necessarily. They learn it.
There are different colleges and that, but in my
Oh.
day, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long were you at Grumman?
I was at Grumman until the strike in 1981.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, I was from what I got out at 72. Yeah, till 81.
Almost 10 years.
10 years. Oh, 9.5 years, really.
9
I
years.
just missed a retirement there by 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then where did you go?
And then President Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers,
Oh, I remember that.
and I got hired because I had the military background. And that was it. And I spent 34 years with the Federal Aviation Administration.
Nice. Where in New York?
Yeah, I started off at Islip Tower, and then I went from Islip to LaGuardia Tower. I went into the regional office for a while, and then I went back to LaGuardia Tower as a supervisor, and then I ended up in the New York TRACON, which is a terminal radar approach, in 1995.
Where is that?
In Westbury, New York.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I ended my career.
Wow.
As
You're
an
a long
operations
time.
manager, yeah.
Did you ever think before you entered the service that this is what you would have had as your career?
No, I didn't.
Huh.
I didn't. I
That's
really
amazing.
lucked out. Yeah, not having any college or it was really
But it's a
lucky.
field that not many people think of even.
no.
So,
No.
and you liked it.
I loved it.
That's wonderful.
I loved it.
Do you have any kids that showed an interest in this?
No, I have my daughter, but
Daughter?
no.
She didn't.
No.
When you returned home, going back a little bit, when you returned home from the service, how were you received by your family and friends?
Oh, it was overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents really wanted me back, and
Yeah.
being an only child
Sure.
was,
Because Vietnam vets had a tough time, some of them,
Yeah.
coming back.
yeah,
But you were nicely received.
nicely received. Yes.
How was it adjusting to civilian life?
It really wasn't that hard.
No.
No. No, I just came back and I went back into the fire department. I was still with the fire department.
Now, when did you join the fire
I
department?
joined the fire department in 1967 when I turned 18.
Oh.
So I had a year in the fire department before I went into the service.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's, when you came back, you joined them up?
Yeah, I
up
went
again?
back in the fire department.
Nice. Here in Melville?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And then I went right up the ranks from lieutenant to captain,
Wow.
to assistant chief to chief.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's fortunate.
And you're still active?
Still active, 52 years.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's nice you found interests that you loved.
Yeah. Yeah. I was fortunate to stay around New York. You know, it's very hard for people to stay
Yes.
in the New York area.
Yes, it is. This area is expensive.
Yeah. We were fortunate. We found a nice house on Old Country Road. It was in the fire district, and
Very nice.
Okay.
And your daughter stayed here too?
yeah.
Oh,
My
that's
daughter
great.
stayed here. My daughter's now in my mother's, my old house on the Spruce Place.
Here, right near you.
Right, a mile away.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Have you remained in contact with any fellow veterans?
I did for a while, and then we kind of separated, so I haven't really saw anybody or talked to anybody in years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard to keep up with everybody. We first keep up, and then just lose contact.
Yeah. Are you a member of any veterans organizations?
No, I'm not.
No. So still now, are you in touch with any people from your air traffic control days?
Oh, yes, yeah. Well, I do consulting for NASA now. So I teamed
really?
I teamed up with a lot of people that I retired with and working with them. One of the gentlemen that I worked with is working with the Port Authority in New York, New Jersey, and I helped them out with some consulting.
Very
And
nice.
yeah, we still keep in touch. Matter of fact, we play golf.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. You have to go to Washington at all?
I'm going to have to, but I haven't been down there in a while. But it's a part-time job, so it's when they call.
Oh, it's like on call?
Yeah.
You're on call?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's kind of at my pace, so.
Very nice. Oh, that's terrific. Is your wife working?
No, she's retired.
So how do you think your military experiences affected your life?
Oh, my military, it made me what I am today because I grew up fast. It made me grow up.
Now, your parents, you were an only child. It must have been hard. They didn't have to sign off because you were 18.
No, right.
So how do they feel about you going in?
I think they were a little hesitant when I first went, but
Sure.
then they understood that, I didn't want to get drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had my choice.
So even if you'd gone to college, you probably would have
We
gotten
got drafted. Oh,
drafted.
there was no doubt in my mind. I think
Really?
my number was like 60-something.
Really?
Yeah. And that time the draft was big.
Yes, I remember.
Right.
Wow. That was very brave of you to get to enlist even.
Yeah.
Was there any talk of sending you abroad?
There was talk. I volunteered right away, but then I ended up in Hawaii. So,
You volunteered to go abroad?
yeah.
Oh.
Volunteered to go abroad.
To Vietnam?
Vietnam or Europe, either one.
Really?
Yeah.
How did,
And I did end up in Vietnam anyway on a temporary duty. But that
oh,
was
tell me about that.
that was my last month. I ended up at Tonsanute Air Force Base.
In Vietnam? South Vietnam?
Working for the Military Airlift Command. We moved. They were moving a fighter wing from Japan to Benoit Air Force Base, and I was sent over there for a month to ensure that those fighters got in there and got out.
Wow. What was that like?
Well, at that time, it was just the start, of the 10th Offensive. So Saigon was the Paris of the Far East, but by then they were bombing on the outside and everything. It was scary. But
Were you living on the base?
yeah, I stayed on. I never went off the base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was it close by any dangerous activities? Probably all dangerous.
We did get some outer bombings
Really?
at the base, but nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Not major damage?
No, never.
Did you see any casualties or?
No.
thank God.
I was very fortunate. Not
Yeah.
to.
So how come it was just did you know going in that it was going to be a month?
Yeah, because I was separating from the service in June, so
Oh, that was a
so
given.
it made it. Yeah, so the last month of my
Was that
career
an
in the
option?
service.
Did they give you, or they?
No, I was told I had to go.
You told you had to go.
Yeah.
Was there any talk of keeping you there longer?
If they did, well, they really couldn't unless I signed a piece of paper that I would re-enlist, and I wasn't re-enlisting at the time.
I see. How did they know this month was enough for with all your knowledge and advice?
I guess because I worked the 3 years at Hickam Air Force Base doing the scheduling and moving troops in and out.
Oh, so they knew what your job for that month would
Sure,
be
yeah.
enough. A month is
It was
enough.
pretty much, that's what they needed me for, and that's what I went for.
Wow. So living on base, what was the base like there? compared to Hawaii or Washington?
Oh, totally different, but I mean,
You had barracks?
Barracks were decent, but not, not
Was that
hotel-like. But
Not in a tent? It was a building?
No, buildings, but not that lavish.
Okay.
Right.
Well, what about the food?
Food was all right.
Yeah.
Military food is military food.
So you said you didn't leave the base?
No.
I'm trying
I was
to
too
reason.
scared.
Yeah, I bet. Was it?
Yeah, I just wanted to survive my last month.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard?
Yeah.
That's close.
It is. It is.
Wow. I mean, did you always have to carry a gun once you were over there?
No, I didn't. But they were available to us.
Okay.
But I didn't have to.
So on the base, there were people coming and going and fighting and doing other things.
Right. We were pretty much secured with the Air Force and just moving stuff around
Oh,
and
that's good.
schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So Air Force people don't, I mean, they go up in planes. You didn't go up in the planes.
No, I didn't go up in any.
That's a good thing if you're over there.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine it was.
Well, they have air traffic controllers, forward air controllers, fact. But no,
They what?
forward air controllers was part of my job too, but I wasn't in the forward air controller.
What does that mean?
They would go up and spot.
In the plane?
Yes, yeah.
Maneuver the plane?
Yeah.
Drive the plane?
Or be in the plane
Fly
and
the
spot.
plane?
Yeah.
Be in the plane?
Right.
But you didn't have to do that?
No. I lucked out. That was very good. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of planes over there?
Yeah, we did. I really never kept track of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was more, in the movement of troops and cargo.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did every day through Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
Through Hawaii. So tell me again, when you were over there for that month, what was your job to do?
We were scheduling we were moving an F-4 squadron from Japan to Benoit Air Force Base.
Is that
It's
where
right
you were?
outside. No, it's just 12 miles northwest of Tonsanut.
How do you move a whole?
We just schedule them and make sure they get out and get in and yeah.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, that's tricky because you have to
Yeah.
make it safe.
Yeah.
How do they travel a whole Air Force unit like that? How does that?
Well, they move in support units first and get them into the base, open up, and then bring in the planes and the crews.
They fly them in?
Yes.
Not on Air Force carriers? On
No.
Ships?
No, they're flown in.
They're flown in?
Yeah.
You got to watch where they fly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some life lessons you learned from the military?
My life lessons is probably maturity. Definitely maturity. And to live on my own, because being an only child and living at home, and
Sure.
it was quite a different
Yeah.
different aspect.
And you liked it?
I loved it.
Because to be on your own at that age is exciting.
Yeah, it is. It was.
So when you came back, how long did you live with your folks?
Until I got married in 74.
A couple of years.
Yeah.
So you got back in 72?
72.
72.
Right.
How do you think your military service impacted your feelings about war and the military in general?
I wasn't against the war. I mean, I served. People didn't serve, but that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
How are your feelings about the military today?
Oh, I think the military is, they do a super job.
We're very lucky in this
Very,
country.
very lucky.
We're really blessed with,
Yeah.
with all of you
Really good people.
who've served and done everything you've done. It's amazing. Very good people.
Yep.
Were you ever injured when you were over there or hospitalized?
No, never. Fortunate, very fortunate.
That's,
Yeah.
You were in 3 years? 4 years?
4 years in the Air
4
Force,
years.
yeah. Right.
When you enlist like that, is it given that it's 4 years?
It's a 4-year term and then 2 years of inactive
Oh,
term. So 6-year term,
oh.
yeah.
So during the 2 years, they could call you
They
back
could call me
anytime?
back, but they didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not an option, the 2
No,
years?
it's not an option. I have to, you have to serve the 6, 4, and 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's kind of good, because then with all your experience...
Or you do
would-
2 active in the Army and then 4 years of the reserve time, so.
Oh, it's
still
the
6
same.
years, yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
But they didn't call you back in those
No.
2 years at all?
No.
Did you have to go for monthly?
No,
Oh.
no, just
You're
on call.
Just on call.
Right.
Ah, I didn't know that. Is there anything that you regretted doing or while you were in the service or anything?
No, I didn't regret anything. I didn't regret enlisting, any of my duties, no.
You'd do it again in a
Oh, yeah.
spit. That's
Yeah.
great. Wow. What message would you like to leave for future generations who might hear this video?
It's a whole different era now since 9/11, and you don't know what the world's going to be like in the future,
Yeah.
and that's the sad part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you were to give young people some advice about either serving or the military or what to do,
I would, even at times of war, it's terrible to say, but the best thing for me is when I went into the military, and I think it really serves the purpose in making a person, grow up and be responsible.
Thing is, at that time,
But that, yeah,
it's
but at a
scary.
war, yes, it's
I'm very
with
impressed.
Afghanistan now and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I would really be hesitant of
Sure.
sending someone.
Well, the fact that you weren't too hesitant during that Vietnam time, that was
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
tough times.
yeah.
And to enlist is very brave. You didn't know what was going to happen.
No, yeah.
Did you go in with any friends? I mean, other people?
No, I
you
went
knew
by
in-
yeah,
Yeah.
on my own. Yeah.
Any people you knew from school?
Not in
High school?
No, didn't.
No.
No.
Is there anything else about your service? We have four more minutes. We can share about anything you've done.
No, like my service time, I think was, it was great. The year in Washington, D.C. was super. I mean, coming home on the weekends and going back.
You would drive? You had your own car?
Yeah, I had my own car. Well, I
That's
still
great.
had my car. I got rid of my car when I went to Hawaii, but.
Oh, okay. You didn't need a car in Hawaii?
No. Well, I got one over there, but I didn't,
Oh, yeah, to
didn't
get
send
your
a ship
car
by
there.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Right.
Crazy.
Were able to go to other islands when you were in Hawaii?
Yes. I got to the Big Island, Hawaii. Got to Volcano. Got to Maui. I got to all the islands.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I was fortunate.
Now, the military bases, our bases are just on Oahu or in Hawaii?
I'm not sure if there's other bases on the other islands, but on Oahu is the main base.
That's where you
Hickam
were.
Air Force Base, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When you went out from the base, did you wear your uniform? Did you have to wear your uniform?
No, I could be in civilian clothes.
Yeah. I'm just wondering the flavor of the times during that period. 'cause
Well, I think
Vietnam-
everybody knew everybody knew you were in the military, and mostly everybody over in Hawaii was, either in the Navy.
Oh, connected
yeah,
somehow.
Yeah.
So the feeling was good, positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did your dad serve?
Yes.
Oh, he
yes.
did?
Yes. My father was in the Marines.
During World War II? or
World War II.
Korea?
Yeah.
World War
Iwo Jima.
II.
Yes.
He was at Iwo Jima?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that an incentive for you to serve, or was it a given?
An
or-
incentive to serve, but I wouldn't go into the Marines.
No, why?
I just don't think I could take it.
Ah.
It was too rough. It would be too rough. The Army would be too rough. But
He was in the Marines.
yes, yeah.
How long was he abroad, do you know?
I think he was at least a year over there. I'm not sure. Maybe less.
But he came back okay?
Yes, he did.
Wow. So did you kind of think of that when you were thinking what to do after high school, or is it mainly because the draft was imminent?
It was mainly because the draft was imminent, and
That's a nice history, though,
it didn't seem there was much of a choice. So
really.
yeah, I mean, either get drafted or
Or go,
Go.
Canada or something.
I don't know.
But you weren't going to do that.
no.
Wow. And did your daughter didn't want to join the military at all?
No. No.
But she knows about you and your dad.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah.
So you didn't have any siblings?
No. No siblings, and my daughter's an only child.
The only
too,
child
so,
too, yeah. So, well, we're very grateful. I'm thinking if there's anything else that we haven't covered that you might want to share with us.
No, I think we got it all. But would I do it again? Yeah.
That's what I was going to say,
I
yeah.
would do it again.
You would?
Yeah.
It's a lot of discipline and
And that was it. I
Change of
never
life.
had, it's different.
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 But as an only child, I didn't realize that they would draft only children back then.
I don't think it really mattered.
Really?
If your number was up, your number was up.
I mean, if that was the only child the family had,
I don't know about twins or brothers or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no,
But
as far
they
as I
didn't-
knew, they never, wasn't because you're an only child, you didn't go into the service.
but they didn't say no to you.
No. No.
Wow. Did you? Did your daughter? Didn't want to join the military at all?
No.
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 Well,
No.
Okay. So, anything else that maybe we haven't covered? Basic training? Oh, I forgot to ask you about your instructors. Do you remember your instructors? What were they like?
Yeah, they were tough, but they were good.
They were tough.
They were tough. They were tough. Every day they were tough. But I understand the reasoning for that.
Do you?
The discipline,
Really?
yeah.
I mean, were there times, did everybody pass through the basic training pretty much?
In my class, yes.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There weren't any times once you were there that you were thinking, maybe I shouldn't have done this?
No. But you just sit there and say, now I understand why the military training and why you have to be so.
Why do you say that?
Well, because you have to be regimented and you have to be able to take orders and do stuff at a certain time.
You can't really question.
You can't question. No.
Because I guess there's always a reason why they tell you to do something.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
So you can't question, otherwise it's dangerous for everyone. Right?
Right.
Huh. Okay. Anything else we haven't covered? You witnessed any destruction and casualties while you were in Vietnam?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So the base was...
The only thing I did witness was we had planes coming back with human remains.
Oh,
And,
wow. That's tough.
That was tough.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no.
Yeah. Good. Well, we really appreciate all you did and learned on our behalf. Thank you so much, Jim. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for your service on down the road, too, even with the FAA. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.